everyone. This afternoon we've got Miss Jenni and
Hi.
Miss Carolyn here to do some science experiments with you. So the first one we're doing today is to do with oranges and whether or not they sink or float.
Okay.
So if you're doing this at home, get mum and dad to help you. You will need a container with water in it, almost to the top, so 3/4 full, and you'll need 2 oranges, one peeled and one unpeeled.
Okay.
Now, Miss Carolyn, I'm going to get you to predict what you think might happen. So when we're talking about science, we can make predictions. So, Miss Carolyn, what one do you think is going to sink?
Okay, so you want me to have a guess at which orange I think is going to sink all the way to the bottom of this container?
Yes, please.
Well, I'm not sure, Miss Jenny, because they look like they're slightly different size. This one looks like it's bigger than this one, so I'm thinking maybe the bigger one would be heavier, and as we found out in weighing, which was heavy and lighter, heavier things go all the way to the bottom. So I'm having a guess that this one
Okay.
might be the one
Will
that
we
sinks.
find out?
Okay,
Will we try this?
let's see if I'm right.
Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to put the small one in first.
Okay,
And I'm going to see what happens with it. Here we go. You ready? Ooh. Oh dear.
it went to the bottom.
Is that what we thought was going to happen? That's a bit of a surprise. Miss Carolyn, would you like to try the next one?
Okay, do we need to take this one out first?
No, that one
No?
can
Just
stay
stay there.
in there.
Okay.
Yes.
So this one is not peeled and it's a bit bigger. So let's see. Do you think it will go all the way to the bottom or will it fly? I'm not sure. Let's see.
Mm.
Okay, here we go. Let's hope the water doesn't come out. Oh,
It's floating. It did not sink.
look at that. And it's the bigger one.
It is.
I thought it would be heavier. I thought it would sink, Miss Jenny.
Do you know why it hasn't sunk?
No, I'm not very good at science. I don't know.
The reason the orange did not sink with the peel on it is because there's air in the peel and it keeps the
Oh.
orange buoyant.
Oh,
And buoyant means it keeps it afloat.
thank goodness you told me that, Miss Jenny. I was
Okay.
just about to ask you what that word meant.
So the water, can it get through the peel?
Doesn't look like it's getting through the
No.
peel, does it?
The water can't get through the peel, whereas when we look at the one that we've peeled, can the water get in? Look, there's holes for it to get in. And when the water gets in, it's like a sponge, isn't it? It sinks down.
So when things have holes in it, the water can get in, and that makes it heavier.
Yes.
I see. And this one doesn't get in.
So I wonder what would happen if we tried that with an apple. Would we get the same result? What
I don't
about
know, Miss Jenny?
a banana?
Would that have the same result?
I don't know. Maybe that's something you could try at home. Okay, Miss Carolyn, we're ready to do another experiment.
Okay.
This time, what I'd like you to do is put some Skittles on our plate. So we need
Okay.
Skittle lollies, we need a plate, and we're using warm water.
Okay, do we want a lot of these, Miss Jenny, or just a few?
I think
Does it matter?
if we do them around the outside, so we have a
Oh.
circle.
Oh, okay.
So if we tip them on, and I can help you spread them out.
Okay, here we go.
And it doesn't matter what order they're in, you can choose if you want to do
That might be
all
enough
the
to go
same
around.
colours together.
All the way around. Or do we need a few more?
Oh, we might need some more.
A few more?
Okay,
That might
that's
be enough.
fabulous. Now, Miss Carolyn, can you tell me what you think? I want you to predict again.
Okay.
What do you predict will happen to the Skittles when I add warm water to the middle of the plate?
Well, the plate, it's pretty flat, but how much water are you going to put on, Miss Jenny? Just a little bit of water or a lot of water?
I'm going to put enough water so that it spreads to touch the Skittles.
Okay, so if the water's going to touch the Skittles, well, they're going to get wet for the first thing. But because it's warm water, and these lollies, these Skittles are covered with something called food colouring, and food colouring has a lot of sugar in it.
It does.
And warm water, I think what's going to happen when the warm water touches that sugar, the sugar's going to melt or dissolve, I think.
Should we see?
I think that's what might happen.
Let's have a look, see what happens. Okay, just pouring some water into the middle, and then there's enough water that it's spreading out to touch.
Look at that, Miss Jenny. Look what's happening.
Can you tell everyone what's happening, Miss Carolyn?
It's happening already, Miss Jenny. I don't know if the children can see that at home, but these particular Skittles on this side of the plate, the food colouring is coming out of the lollies into the water. It is dissolving. Oh, look at that.
I'll put a little tip on it. It's like the rainbow,
Wow.
isn't it? All the colours are starting to mix in together.
They are.
When you do it at home, it will work better because you won't have to tip the plate. But what is happening is all of the colours are going into the centre of the plate. I've even got a spot where there's no water now, so the water must be a little bit absorbed into the Skittles.
Because when you put that water on to begin with, it was over the whole plate, and now it's not.
I'll just lift it up again so you can have a quick look without it tipping out. The colours are all getting mixed together now. I wonder, Miss Carolyn, what would happen if you didn't have Skittles at home? Could you use M&Ms?
I think it would be all right to use that because they also have
The
colour,
coating.
the coating and the food colouring, which has the same sugar content. But would it work if it was cold water? Does it have to be warm water, Miss Jen?
I think that's something we could try at home, but if you use cold water, it would just take a little bit longer. That's what my prediction is.
Oh, okay. So it would still work.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now we're ready for our next experiment. And this is magic milk. So for this experiment, you'll need a plate, you need some milk, you need dishwashing liquid, and it's also helpful to have some different colours of food colouring. We've also got a cotton bud, and with the cotton bud I've put the dishwashing liquid already on there. So we're ready to go, we're ready to start. So Miss Carolyn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some different colours of the food colouring into my milk that is on the plate.
It's all very interesting, Miss Jen. I was about to ask you what the food colouring was for.
So what we can do, if you'd like to put just a few drops of the pink colour, it doesn't have to be near mine, it can be wherever it lands.
Don't put too much in.
So I've got about 3 drops.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, that's
Red one.
fabulous. And I'll put some green in here as well. There
That's
we
very
go.
pretty.
So we've got the milk on the plate, we've got green and it's keeping to itself.
It is.
The blue is keeping to itself and the pink is by itself as well. They're not mixing in at all. What do you think will happen if you add this cotton bud that's got the dishwashing liquid
Okay.
into the plate.
Oh, this is a tricky one. I don't know why those colours are just sitting there and not mixing, because you think, being liquid, you think they would just all flow together, but they're
Join
not.
together. Mm.
So, because they're not joining together, does that mean if we put this soap onto the colours, well, soap is slippery, isn't it, Miss Jen?
It is slippery.
So does that mean the colours might join together because they might slip together?
I think that's a great prediction. Why don't you have a try?
Oh, okay. How do I do this, Miss Jen?
Okay, you've got the soap.
Onto the cotton bud.
It is, and now if you just hold it down, hold it in the water or in the milk or
Just
in a colour,
Let it drop.
you can actually hold
Oh.
it in.
Look at that.
It's
Wow.
having a reaction.
Look at that, Miss Jenny.
Now look what happens. Miss Carolyn put it in the red.
My
I'm
goodness.
just going to hold mine in there.
Look at that. Wow.
And it's still having a reaction. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure, Miss Jen, but it must have something to do with the soap making the food colouring spread. I don't know how.
Yes, and I think it also has to do with the fat content in the milk.
Oh.
So if we tried this with low fat milk, it would react differently.
I wonder why that is.
If we tried it with buttermilk, I've seen it react like snowflakes. So this is expanding out. When I put the tip into the milk, the colour is going out. Whereas when you use buttermilk, it makes like a snowflake.
Okay. So
Pattern.
it makes a distinct pattern.
It does.
Oh, isn't it fascinating?
Yeah.
I wonder why that happens.
Yeah, so you can you can move your cotton bud around to different areas and it pushes the colour away from the cotton bud. So you can make some pretty colours here. It's amazing
Making
how
an
it happens.
artwork.
It is.
Look at that. It is very pretty.
Yes. If you didn't have a cotton bud at home, you could just, with mum and dad's help, get your dishwashing liquid and you could just put a dribble of it in.
And it was, oh, it's still
and
doing it. Look at that.
That will make it react as well.
Look at that, Miss Jen. That looks like a flower opening.
It does a little bit, yes.
That is fascinating.
So that's your next
Wow.
experiment that you can try at home.
I'd like to try that one at home, Miss Jen. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Miss Carolyn and I, we will find some more experiments for you to try. Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.